Alex there.
Up against Alex Field here. It's again poised for a great match.
Certainly is. Bayern, one of those teams who do have a coach here today.
Yes, Lutti, of course.
Yeah, Lutti, seasoned veteran of eFootball PES, multiple-time Austrian champion, knows his way around the game and is a tactical mind that you would rather have than not have.
So we're underway in game 3 of Matchday 5. First 2 fixtures, drama aplenty. What will these two great clubs produce?
You can see the stats on the left-hand side of your screen. Both of these two clubs with 5 wins, both with identical conceding records. So defensive-wise, they're pretty evenly matched. It's just the edge in the goal-scoring column you would maybe give to the old lady, Juventus, attacking from left to right here against the Bavarians, Bayern Munchen, from right to left. Here is Riet. Unfortunately snuffed out there from Demiral. Anything really you expect to see here early on? Obviously, Juventus having lost a fair few players. I'll come back to his Dybala looking for both Ronaldo and Cuadrado, actually spilt in the end by Neuer. Pushed almost back into danger, but shoved away in the end. I'll come back to my point, Wes. You know, Juventus losing key players. You think that will affect the way that they play in any way?
I think with the likes of minds that Juve have, I think they're always going to find a way to perform with the team. They'll find their way for it. I mean, you know, they have Ronaldo, they have Dybala, they have Cuadrado, they have these players that are able to really change a game, and I think they'll find a way against this Bayern team. It's all about really how Bayern want to set up and how Bayern are going to put themselves together.
One thing that Bayern will be pleased with is that injuries don't count, because of course Niklas Süle in Bayern life is out long term, but they can play fortunately, and Süle, I imagine, one of the first choice defenders of anyone. He is a giant at the back.
He's a giant, physical, will be able to handle most forwards, if not all of them, and you know, a lot we talk about constantly is physicality really reigns supreme in eFootball Pro, and that's what these guys will look for kind of more often than not with their defensive choices, is how physical are they.
Rabiot finds Costa and fed back to him. Ronaldo here is in behind, but smartly down in the end, I think, by Manuel Neuer. We'll take a look here what happened on the replay. I mean, it seemed to elude absolutely everyone apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, who never gave up on it, and it's the left arm, I should say, of Manuel Neuer, which palms it back into the path of Ronaldo. And gratefully for Bayern, they've had a few scares here early on, Wes, and they've survived both of them.
Yeah, you have to ride your luck at some points, and I think that's what Bayern are going to need to do here. Neuer has cost them in previous match days gone by, but at the moment he's still keeping a clean sheet, and you may be able to hear over some of the broadcasts, you may be able to hear the VIP zone, who are heavily invested in this game, with it being second versus third. You can see how much and hear how much it means to some of these guys watching. Boateng
beats Ronaldo to the ball, but only gets it as far as Khedira. Here is Cuadrado now. Costa with a bit of miscontrol. However, Bayern can't find the outlet. Here is Costa, first time to Ronaldo. Javi Martinez smartly away. That was Jose on defensive duties there for Bayern Munchen. Quickly in by Dybala. Juventus playing at a lightning pace. Blocked in the end for a final third throw in here for Juventus. 20 minutes gone. They've looked the more commanding in terms of attack. We'll see where this throw-in goes. Have a couple of players to aim for in the middle. It is into Ronaldo, who wins the header down to Cuadrado. Looking for Dybala, snuffed out low by Hernandez. Late challenge on him, but referee plays on. Müller combining with Riet effectively. Müller again on that right-hand side. Just cheated inside. Bayern look a little out of sorts here early on. Müller to Riet, back to him now. Riet popping up in all kinds of situations. Xerxes there adjudged to be offside, and that's by the slimmest of margins in the end. And I think Cuadrado there is going in the book for an earlier discrepancy. Confirmation on that there as the man goes into the referee's book. Here is Khedira. Ronaldo. That's a physical challenge in the end. Riet now on the ball, has men in support, but breaks kindly here to Dybala, but he can only, unfortunately, shepherd it out for a throw-in.
Manuel Neuer, by far the busier of the goalkeepers in the opening 30 minutes. Some last-ditch defending. He mentioned physicality for defenders. Had to get that challenge absolutely spot on. Otherwise, well, could have been a penalty and a red card as Wojciech Szczesny gets a very rare touch.
It's been all Juve at this point. It's interesting to see the Bayern game plan kind of coming to the fore. Is it a case that they're trying to just lull them in and try and attack from here? It's Goretzka, lovely inside ball, and
just offside. Just offside there by Alex Alguacil.
That's the first time we've seen a Bayern central midfielder that burst forward and be on the ball like Goretzka was.
Certainly, and it's nice to see Bayern again starting to play the way that we have seen them in previous weeks. They are up here at the top of the table alongside Juventus for a reason. Rabiot, wayward touch, almost be able to find Paulo Dybala. Quadrado, though, leaves it, which allows Xerxes to gain possession. But it's been very scrappy so far in this first half, just under 10 minutes to go. Sort of the game we expected to see between these two. Obviously, former teammates knowing each other's tactics and stuff, so fully expected it to be like this. Very lovely touch and turn inside, but again, Chiellini, that's Il Distruttore controlling him, able to cover nicely, and now Rabiot cannot get it past Goretzka, and it's really a chess match here in the middle of the pitch, Wes, and neither side really able to come out on top so far as Müller plays it into the final third. Back to him now from Vriet. Xerxes to aim for. Fired in, but Demiral well covering, and Juventus gladly will get it away.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I mean, if you're just looking at the body language of both sets of players, it's that typical gamer stance of sitting forward with your controller in hand as close to the TV or as close to the monitor as humanly possible. And you can see that, I think, once we see a goal, there's going to be a release of tension, because it seems that way. It's incredibly tense at this point.
It's a pressure cooker waiting to explode. Rabiot. Ronaldo is far and away offside, as was Dybala. So the attacking gameplay there breaks down for Juventus as we enter stoppage time of the first half of this first game. Again, a very cagey affair, and as it often is in games of eFootball Pro, both teams just analysing the opponent, analysing the other, and in the end it ends at a very even 0-0.
Oh, we've seen goal 2 best defences in 2020, and you can probably see why in that first 45 minutes.
Absolutely. We'll see what either side can do to break down the other. No doubt Lutti behind FC Bayern Munchen will be giving his insight as well as to what can maybe be done different. Rabiot is intercepted there, and that gifts possession to Bayern Munchen. Müller running in ahead, Xerxes in support as well, but Juventus defence so far, Wes, has been very organised. It's been very well oiled, and Bayern Munchen have struggled really to get any form of clear-cut chances. Once again, they win the ball back.
Yeah, it's an interest. It's interesting for different reasons. It's not a goal fest, but this is very much an out-tacticking type of test.
Oh, Vriet here on the edge of the box.
Oh, what a goal!
What a finish that is! What an incredible goal for Bayern Munchen. Off the inside of the post and in. And that breaks the deadlock. 1-0 to the German club. Amazing.
Well, you wonder whether it was either going to be the old cliche, a big mistake, or a moment of genius to break this game open.
I mean, look at
and
this.
And it is the latter. This is exceptional.
Bang.
You do not save shots like that.
Absolutely incredible. Xerxes it is in the end, and I believe it's Jose controlling him. I mean, first of all, winning that header is crucial, but look at this connection. Bang.
It's an absolute thunderbolt. And we talked last match day about, come on, players, let's start taking some risks. That's not a percentage shot. That's we're just going to bludgeon this and we're going to see what happens. And my word, what a finish.
With the finish, it was Jose who was in charge of him. Extraordinary. Now, will we see this game open up a little with the deadlock broken 10 minutes into the second half?
Well, that means now Juventus, the onus is on them. Oh, look at this lovely run from Dybala. Covered there in the end by Mestre. Vital intervention there. Will force the corner, but as I was saying, the onus well and truly on the Italian club now. They've been in fine goal-scoring form throughout the entire season so far. We'll have to see. And I suppose the one criticism you could have, if any, from Juventus is that every single one of their players has chimed in with an equal amount of goals. We've never really seen one player, apart from Lo Scandalo, Matchday 2, I believe, really take the game by the scruff of the neck and really start firing in those goals. So we might find out in this game, when they are, as they are right now, under a fair amount of adversity as a pause comes in for changes, who will be the player to step up for them.
And remember, potentially, if one of these two teams wins both of the fixtures, they will go top. But maybe as pertinent a point is the fact that, given how the knockout stages work, the top two go straight through to the semi-finals. So the difference between finishing second and third is big. So games between these two are key.
Let's take a listen to Bayern Munchen.
How's your Spanish?
I'm learning.
¿Queréis seguir así o atacar por banda? Pon por banda, pon por banda. Vamos, venga, vamos, Vale, va. Vamos, niño, vamos. Con confianza, Tira mucho porque no por ahí. Vamos, no bajamos. Queda muchísimo.
Talking about tactics, at this point, is this where having a coach really comes to the fore, when the game's paused?
Yeah, well, you can see there, Lutti was well in conversation with his team, and like I said, to have a tactical mind like Lutti to back you up, it's a fantastic weapon to have that not many teams actually have. I'm surprised that there's not more coaches around the place, because you can really see the benefit of having them there. And the way that they've changed their formations, they want to make sure that their formation just maintains its shape. They don't want to fall too far out of shape, and you can see that they've made changes. Arp's now on. They've made those kind of changes, and you can see their will just disrupting everything.
Yeah, Arp's through here as well. Has Delict coming across. Might look for Coleman on the far side. Arp's in. Oh, Demiral just beats the man to the ball, forces a corner. But we're talking about changes on the Juventus side. Triple sub. I think I saw Bernardeschi come on. We've seen Bentancur come on as well. I think Gonzalo Higuain is also on the pitch. So a triple sub from Juventus. The response maybe that is needed for them to get back into this game.
If you're Bayern Munich, the question now is one goal enough to win this game? And if you bet on yourself, if it goes into the post-match conferences or the post-match interviews, you might want to need to back yourself and find out whether you've actually made the right decision or not.
Otherwise, you have Harry asking why you didn't.
Exactly.
Throw in right on the corner for Bayern Munchen. You can see 3 at that front post is the target. Wins the header against Delict. And there's so many players in there for Bayern Munchen. Szczesny is gratefully able to gather that one for Juventus, and it's a long ball up to Cristiano Ronaldo. Wins the header down, but can't find Higuain. Bayern Munchen so far have looked good. Look at the burst of pace here from Arp. Fresh on the pitch. Here is Kingsley Coman. Free inside. It's a lovely goal. It's the second of the match for Bayern Munchen. And it all comes from a burst of pace in the middle from a change that they made. 2-0.
Talk about the importance of substitutions and fresh legs. Again, all there. The fact that Arp wins it in midfield, it's that burst of energy, that burst of pace. Plays it into Coman, plays it into Rit, and you can see it, etched across the faces of Juve at the moment. Yep. Don't know what to do. Some
forlorn faces for the old lady, but this is well worth watching again. It is second fantastic finish for Marie, who has certainly enjoyed this match. Szczesny could do nothing about it, neither could the Juve players. The Inquisition starts, but Bayern celebrate, and now they are in complete control.
I know we said we were bad at maths earlier, but I believe that puts Bayern above Juve in the table.
Well, it will for now, because they were level on points.
I was going to say, you'd have to be really bad at maths not to know that. Perhaps more importantly, it would give Bayern the chance, if they were to win the return, to go above Monaco and into top spot.
See there the tactical switches now. Bayern are now in a 4-4-2 as opposed to the 4-3-3 they were playing in. And it's that defensive wall that I was talking about between Will and Javi Martinez, because they're both anchor men. When they're set to being a defensive midfielder, they will sit there.
Let's take a listen to what Bayern Munchen have to say as they look to defend their 2-goal lead. Oh, a very small insight there into the changes that they've made, but no doubt it's going to be, you know, tactical.
But you can see there just how much the coach plays a role.
I mean, Lutti is, we've spoken about it in weeks past, really a calming presence, and it's an extra set of eyes that's removed from the emotion of the situation, which always tends to help out Bayern Munchen. That goal from Matchday actually puts him into the top 10.
Interesting, he's the only Bayern player in the top 10, given we're talking about a team who are going second outright on their own as things stand.
Koeman, oh, that one almost curled into the goal, but unfortunately was curling the wrong way. And Juventus will happily take the goal kick, but I mean, within the next 1 or 2 attacks, Juventus would need a goal. But so far, no real sign of where it's going to come from, Wes.
No, and that's the thing. It's rare to see Juve be so devoid of ideas. They've brought Higuain on, who hasn't really been anywhere near as relevant as you would have thought of him. Meanwhile, the Bayern Munich substitutions have had all of the fun.
And it's going to be Bayern Munchen in the final third with a throw-in here once again. Look out for Arp. Look at this run. Has Reet in support once again. The 2 men up top for Bayern so far have been deadly. Here is Kingsley Coman. Back to Ivan Perisic. Smart from Bayern here. Retain possession all the way back to Manuel Neuer. Kill off this game. Really prevent any chance for the Italian club to make things interesting in the last 10 minutes. Boateng will play it long, and Arp again able to snatch the ball in midfield, only for just a moment though. Here is Higuain. Deshi in support of Cristiano Ronaldo, but the closing down of Bayern Munchen early on has been tremendous here. Rabiot, Higuain, looking for Bentancur, but cannot find him. Javi Martinez will be first there, and we're looking at 3 points here for Bayern Munchen, unless Juve can come up with something special. Here is Cristiano Ronaldo. Back to him now, Bernardeschi in support, but we heard a satisfied noise there from Alex Alguacil. He knows that interception surely will kill off the game. Hernandez looking for Arp long. He's been a target for Bayern Munchen all game long, but as we're into added time now, Bayern Munchen, they'll be very happy with their performance here. A solid 2-0 and a clean sheet to boot, Wes. That's, I mean, against Juventus, not easy to do.
Yeah, no, it's not. And the added kind of positive that they've got now going into this second game, there's that carrot of if they do win that game, they go top of the tree, which would have been unheard of probably at the start of the